Hello everyone, it's Seth, probably better known as Saffron Olive, and we got a super special video today. So today is Spring Announcement Day. Twice each year, we got one in the spring, one in the fall. Wizards dumps out a bunch of information about upcoming products, and today is the day for the spring, and we got a bit of news to get to. Not one of the craziest announcement days we have, but we got a few really interesting and important topics to talk about. Starting with the biggest news of the bunch, and we're going to just jump right into it. We found out what the fall set is, and the fall set, as it has been rumored, is a return to Ravnica. We're going back to one of Magic's most iconic, most popular planes. Actually, behind Dominaria, Ravnica might be the single most beloved and iconic plane in all of Magic, and not only are we returning for a set, we're going back to Ravnica for 3 sets. So we have Guilds of Ravnica coming up the beginning of October, releases October 5th. We have Ravnica Allegiances coming out in January, and then a yet unnamed 3rd set, which will apparently be the spring set next year, also featuring Ravnica. So we're spending the next year winding our way through Ravnica, and I am super excited for this. I love Ravnica. I love multicolor sets. Ravnica has been great both times that it has been around, so a 3rd time, I am very hyped for it. It is going to be great. Dominaria, Acorsa, and Ravnica all in the same standard, all in the same year. What a great year for Magic. So the way this is going to work is pretty simple. We are jumping into our return to Ravnica with Guilds of Ravnica releasing October 5th, so pre-release will be before that, and Guilds of Ravnica is going to feature 5 of the 10 guilds. So we're going to have Selesnya, the green-white guild. We're going to have Golgari, the green-black guild. We are going to have Boros, the red-white guild. We're going to have Dimir, blue-black, and also Izzet, blue-red. So that's coming up in the fall set, Guilds of Ravnica, and then the winter set, Ravnica Allegiances, will feature the rest of the guilds. So we'll have Azorius, we'll have Rakdos, we'll have Gruul, we'll have Simic, we'll have Orzhov, and then the 3rd set is interesting in its own right. So if you've been following Magic for a while, you know for the last few years, all the way back to Battle for Zendikar, we have kind of been winding our way through this storyline about the Gatewatch, the group of planeswalkers that's banded together and kind of superheroing their way around the multiverse, fighting different big baddies. So we are going to wrap up the storyline with our 3rd Ravnica set. So we're finally getting to the end of the Gatewatch storyline, which is exciting for a couple of reasons. First off, just like a movie, we're finally reaching the climax. We're going to see what happens with all these planeswalkers that have taken the oath. Apparently, it's going to come down to them fighting Nicol Bolas, which is rumored to be returning again in the core set in just a couple of months. So it seems like that's where we're leading, to the Gatewatch versus Nicol Bolas, the ultimate battle in the multiverse. The other reason this is so exciting is we're going to have a new storyline. The Gatewatch storyline is wrapping up, so regardless of whether you like the Gatewatch storyline or hate it or you're somewhere in the middle, new things are always exciting. So not only do we get the wrap-up of what has been a years-long storyline in Magic, we're going to have a brand new storyline, a brand new story arc starting next year, which is super exciting in its own right. So Ravnica, the biggest news of the day, 3 sets starting this fall, and it is going to be super awesome. Also, a bit of speculation, Ravnica, since we have 3 sets, pretty likely that we see the return of the Shocklands. This obviously isn't confirmed. This is just speculation, but I feel like the expectation of players is going to be Shocklands in Ravnica. We always have had Shocklands in Ravnica, so I would be very surprised if we didn't have Shocklands, and this means a couple of things. First off, mana is going to be great in Standard. We have the Buddy lands, the Check lands, whatever you want to call them, from Ixalan and also from Dominaria. Then we're going to have the Shocklands, hopefully, fingers crossed, again, speculation. The other big news is these cards have been creeping up in price because they are some of the most important lands, the second most important behind fetch lands in the modern format. So getting another reprint is going to bring their price back down, make it a little bit easier for players to build their modern mana bases. So if you've been waiting to get your modern stuff, hopefully Ravnica will bring with it more cheap lands to fill out your collection. So moving on from Ravnica, which was the biggest, most exciting news of the day, we also got some news about other stuff. So the set we're going to be experiencing first from the announcement is Battle Bond. So Battle Bond is the new multiplayer focus set, the 2-headed giant set, and it's releasing next month, and official spoilers are starting next week, so keep an eye out for that. But we got a couple of early spoilers because Wizards got to get the hype going, so we got Pure Imaginative Rascal and Toothy Imaginary Fiend, which kind of highlight one of the new or like semi-new mechanics. So it's kind of a twist on partners. These two cards partner up, and then when one of them enters the battlefield, you get to tutor for another one and put it in your hand. So they kind of go together. They're also going to be showing up in booster packs together from what they said, which is kind of interesting. So going to be a really unique and exciting set. If you like multiplayer formats, we've already seen like the dual lands look great for Commander. Going to be really interesting to see how this set plays out. So keep an eye out for that. We're just starting to get the first information about Battle Bond, releasing just a few short weeks from now in June. We also got some information about a brand new product in the Global Series deck. So Global Series is basically the Chinese version of Planeswalker decks, designed specifically for the Chinese-speaking world, but they're also being printed in English. These come out the end of June, June 22nd, and we got the two new Planeswalkers from the first run of the Global Series decks, and Mu Yanling and also Zhang Yongin. And I'm sorry if I'm butchering those names. I'm sure I probably did. I'm very bad at that. Anyway, we got the new Planeswalkers, and there's a weird twist here. So these cards are legal in older formats. So you can play them in Vintage, you can play them in Legacy, you can play them in Commander. However, when it comes to Standard, you can only play them if you're playing Standard in China. So they're not legal in American Standard or European Standard or South American Standard or wherever else. But if you're playing Standard specifically in China, then you can have fun with your new Planeswalkers from the global decks. That said, they are being released in English as well. They're being released in English and in simplified Chinese. So I don't know. What do you think about that? I think it's a little weird. Like, in all honesty, are Mu Yanling or Zhang Yongin going to break Standard and be staples, or even be playable in Standard? Most likely not. We have a pretty long track record of Planeswalker deck cards not being Standard playable, outside of like Against the Odds and fun stuff we do like that. But it's still a little weird to have Standard technically be different depending on what region you're playing in. So I don't know how I feel about that. I like the product. I think it's great that Wizards is reaching out to other markets, other places that maybe don't get the same support as we do over here in North America, where everything's focused on us. So I think that's awesome. A little bit weird about the differences in Standard, but honestly, it probably won't really matter. It more just looks weird on paper than anything else. So the other thing we found out is that Wizards is continuing on with the unique buy a box promo. So I'm not going to spend too much time talking about this because it'll probably just devolve into complaining. I've written articles about it before, but basically when you buy a box of the newest set, you get a unique card that is not actually in that set, but the card is Standard legal. So the first one of these was Firesong and Sunspeaker, and so far Firesong and Sunspeaker, popular in Commander. We've played it on Magic Arena a little bit, but it hasn't really broken out in Standard, and as a result it's like $7, $10, somewhere in that range. So expensive, but not ridiculously expensive. But my concern with this is if you keep doing this and you ever accidentally print a Tireless Tracker or a Karn Liberated or some other card that's a little too good and actually a Standard staple, and the only way people can get it is by this buy a box promo and only the boxes you get right away. It's not even boxes that go on for infinity, just like the first couple weeks until supply runs out. There's definitely some risk there that if Wizards misses high, we could end up with a card that is super, super expensive. So anyway, worth mentioning, we're going to keep getting them. It is cool to see unique cards like Firesong and Sunspeaker showing up. A little weird to not have him in the set. Hopefully it goes fine, and Wizards keeps them to the Firesong and Sunspeaker level, where they're good enough that people want them and want to build Commander decks with them, and we're going to play Against the Odds decks and janky decks with them, but not so good that you're playing 4 of them at a GP or a SCG Open or a Pro Tour or something, because then we'd have all kinds of problems. Like if it was a card that was printed this way, I don't even want to know. It'd be like Black Lotus prices or something ridiculous if we had a card that was at that level of play in Standard that was also only released as a buy a box promo. So anyway, that has been our announcement day update. So let me know what you think. How excited are you from Ravnica? What are you expecting from Ravnica? What's going to be the coolest aspect of returning? Will we get more Shocklands? What characters will return? What do you think about the wrapping up of the Gatewatch storyline? How is that going to play out? Where are we going next as far as the story is concerned? How about these other products? Battle Bond, the Global Deck Series, the Promo thing? Let me know what you think in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will talk to you soon. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, help us out by clicking that like button down below.
And to keep up on all the latest and greatest, click that subscribe button. And don't forget to hit that bell icon to get alerts whenever we have new videos. And if you want to, check out some of our other sweet videos here and here.